You're about to see a cut from a broadcast approximately 10 years old where I featured Yuri Bezmenov in a desperate effort to explain the way that America and its people, its citizens, are being demoralized for the express purpose of overthrowing the Constitution, which now, 10 years later, is currently happening. Last night, I watched an organizer of Black Lives Matter in Louisville with mainstream media quality cameras and lighting in her face announce the whole system is corrupt. We must destroy the Constitution. She said that word for word, but of course it was on a live stream late at night in a violent riot and no one else saw it. That's the world we live in now. But people have got to pay attention. They've got to understand what's going on. I remember doing an interview 11 years ago in relation to the Egyptian revolution, or what people call the Egyptian revolution. And I interviewed a man named Ahmed Ramadan. And I had to explain to him that the revolution he thinks is going on in his country is fake. It's phony. I had him on Skype from the other side of the planet. And after I interviewed him for 20, 30 minutes, I don't remember, he stated, and I want you to notice the words, caught up in it. Caught up in it. Because it's happening here now. Ahmed Ramadan stated to me, I was wondering why, after 30 years of rule under Hosni Mubarak, all of a sudden the people were rising up. But I just got caught up in it. What do you think is happening in America right now? It's the exact same thing, orchestrated and funded by the exact same people, to once again overthrow a government or overthrow the Constitution and instill a government or people in the government that they, the New World Order, control. Now, I wanted this to actually be a short intro because there's one simple thing I need to explain about Yuri Bezmenov. He's speaking in this interview to G. Edward Griffin, I believe 1984 or 1985, before there was any real knowledge of the New World Order, especially in Russia. And so he, like everyone else at the time, perceived there to be a great conflict between Russia and the United States. Everyone did. Everyone was worried about the nuclear holocaust, MAD, mutually assured destruction, Reagan, whatever. Yuri Bezmenov has very good, very accurate information here, but it's not about Russia. It is not about Russia. He's Russian. He was a Russian operative. He employed tactics of the New World Order against other countries, just like we are doing now. But it's the New World Order. It's the global government. It's the globalists. It's the evil ones. It's the evil ones running the entire world. It's not Russia. It's not any one country. It's the hidden hand behind the scenes. And all of the individual countries and the players in them are puppets, including Yuri Bezmenov. He didn't know it at the time. But you can know it now. Because you have to zoom out and see the bigger picture. And you have to see how your own country right now is being destroyed from within by the globalists using the techniques that Yuri Bezmenov does talk about here. I have a direction I want to go with this and the next few broadcasts, which involves a couple things. I want to give you a general overview of the New World Order's vision for the future of humanity, which is complete and total enslavement turning us into partial cyborgs. Mind control is going to become a little more physical, a little more literal in the future. And before I even get to that, you need to understand the nature of the people who are running the world, and that they are in fact psychopaths.
In fact, the testing could have been ramped up very quickly in a few countries that have almost avoided the epidemic entirely, like Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia. They took their experience and actually prepared, and so they moved a lot faster. So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.
Everybody talks about, and it's one of the Hollywood deceptions, like the movie Psycho. Like the psycho you have to worry about is just, one lone nut job out there that's going to knife you while you're getting a shower. This is, of course, more of the Hollywood deception. Like the movie The Matrix, there's going to be one person come along and save you, so just sit back, don't do anything, and wait for Neo to come along. And that could apply to any of the movies, especially the recent ones of Marvel Comics. There's always one hero. It doesn't take a mass awakening. It doesn't take the people to rise up, because somebody else is going to come along and save you. And the only psychopath you have to worry about is some guy down the street who might knife you. But the truth is, in fact, the exact opposite. It is, in fact, a very, very large group of psychopaths that we actually need to worry about. And they aren't just the people down the street. They're the people running the world, running these major corporations, running the governments. And they seek out the psychopath. They literally look for that character trait because they know this is somebody obsessed with power. Somebody, who has no qualms about doing things that are morally wrong in so many different ways. It doesn't matter. We have a psychopath running the army. We have a psychopath running our company. So we're in good shape. Upon coming to realize the psychopathic nature of the people who are running the world, running the governments, running the corporations, you may then be open to understanding and accepting the information that I will present afterwards as we move towards, I'm not even going to get into it right now. First, you need to understand who's running the show. But we're going to start with Yuri Bezmenov, I believe is his name. He's a Russian defector. We're going to start with a little bit of information about the intellectual decay, the moral decay of the nation, which had to be put into effect first. The reason people aren't rising up is because they have been demoralized. Now, of course, I am no way part of the New World Order, but demoralization is a handy technique to use. When I run a race, say it's just me and a couple other people, I will tend to start out very, very, very fast, even though I know I can't keep it up for even a single mile, just to demoralize everybody else. And when they see me start off so fast, they're like, holy crap, this guy's insane. I can't keep up with him. And what do? They're like, well, I'll just get second place. I'll settle for second place. So you demoralize the enemy. In this case, the entire population of the United States and the world at large is the enemy of these evil, psychopathic people who comprise the New World Order. And so it is our entire populations that are being demoralized. This is why they're putting their hands down your pants at the airport. This is why they're molesting your children in front of you. Because you are being demoralized.
And so like frogs boiled slowly, the process continues. And it's going to continue until you're ready to just walk down into a ditch, stand there, and patiently wait for the bullet. Unless we start turning things around. And that obviously is exactly what we must do. People have got to become educated, they've got to become aware, they've got to understand the techniques that are being used against them, why they're being used. They've got to come to believe that these things are true, because they are. And it's easy to know the truth, but not believe it, and so not act upon that information. Only when people fully understand the nature of the threat, that it's real, that it's inevitable, will they then even think about standing up and doing something about it. I'm still recruiting broadcasters for the Truth Broadcast Network. So if you or anybody you know wants to be a video broadcaster, just do something as simple as I'm doing right here. Sit down, look at a camera, and tell the world what's going on. Get a hold of me, facebook.com/D2NWO. All right, let's get on with tonight's broadcast, and let's just see what comes out of it. You're listening to Hardcore Harry, and I am deaf to the New World Order. Founder of the Truth Video Broadcasting Network at tvbn.tv. Streaming to you live also on UnitedTruthSeekers.com, FreeThinkRadio.com, InformedRadio.com, and of course, as always, eternally at D2NWO.com. Deaf to the New World Order.
Our conversation is with Mr. Yuri Alexandrovich Bezmenov. Mr. Bezmenov was born in 1939 in a suburb of Moscow.